So today I'm going to be reviewing this Amcrest camera. This is going to be an outdoor camera. The specific brand on this is the IP2M-842B. That part's not really important. If you are looking to get this, just go ahead and just look up Amcrest outdoor cameras, and then you're going to see a variety of different versions of them. They're going to have two different styles of this. There's one that's this bullet one, and there's one that's a little more rigid looking. It doesn't really matter from what I've seen. I think it's just the same functionality. So to start off, this is going to be I believe all Amcrest cameras are going to be Wi-Fi capable, which is really nice. You can see it's obviously by that antenna there. That's the one that is able to get the Wi-Fi signal. This is going to be a 1080p resolution as well. At night here, it says you have 98 feet of nightly vision. You're going to have a mobile viewing. Mobile viewing is nice because you have an app, and you can obviously, as long as the cameras are connected and you're connected on your phone, you can see the live feed wherever you are, which is pretty much the whole point of having a camera like that. And it's going to have a 72 degrees wide viewing angle, which is pretty much what you're going to need at 1.8, or it's the most you're going to need. You don't need anything more than that. And it also has a 60-second setup, has cloud storage availability, but the most important thing about this is that it's weatherproof. I have 3 of these cameras around my house, the outside perimeter, and they've been through rain, they've been through heavy rain, heavy winds. I have never had an connectivity issue with them ever. You just need to make sure to set them up correctly, get your wiring in, and then you're pretty much good to go. It is going to be night vision as well, which is great. That actually turns on and off automatically, just as long as you set up everything correctly. Let's see any other important features on this. So this is obviously going to have, like I said earlier, it is going to have a 1080p resolution. And you can kind of play around with that. Sometimes, depending on your Wi-Fi signal, it might be a little slow, it might be a little laggy, so you can actually drop that down to 720p, and you could try that out. And there's that guy there. Let me go ahead and show you the actual the box itself. Is just a lot of basics things here, as you can see there. So now let me go ahead and show you the actual camera itself. It's actually a little higher up, so I have to zoom in on it. So the actual camera itself is going to look like that. When you mount it up there, you are gonna need to find out a place where to. You're gonna need to find a place where to connect it. Obviously, the power signal as well, the power cable. You're gonna need to connect that properly, and you're gonna need to get a good grip on that on those screws up there. So that's pretty much what it looks like. That top angle. Let me go ahead and zoom back out. So this top lid up here, it actually slides out depending on however you need it. I kind of just left it where it came because that's all I needed in that place. It hasn't had any issues with it yet. One thing you do have to understand, just kind of about like the actual camera and just cameras themselves in general. So they are going to have a motion detection. The problem with that is that when it does rain outside, you're going to need to set up your respective program that it comes with to anticipate and make up for that. I've had this for actually about 2 years or so. Yeah, 2 years. Have never had an issue with it, just as long as you set it up correctly. The Amcrest company had an app, or they still have an app. I downloaded it from my Android phone, and I was having issues with it at first because it wasn't giving me the notifications that that there was that motion sensor was set off. They took them a long time to figure that out, but now they finally get it. It finally works out. I'm not sure about the iPhone app. From what I saw, the reviews, people weren't having issues with the iPhone app itself, but just the Android app. Another kind of thing to mention about just the Amcrest thing in general is that the actual program itself is not exactly too intuitive to set up. So if you're not a tech savvy person, or if you just don't feel comfortable with being able to play around with technology, I would recommend hiring somebody to put that in for you. They do have CDs, they do have this and things like that from the actual company itself, but as far as I know, they don't provide any actual support, like in terms of an actual real person to come and set it up for you. So that's kind of, might be a downside to it. It does say here that it's a 60-second setup. What you have to know about that is that depending on your specific Wi-Fi signals and your Wi-Fi setup at home, just make sure to add that specific, because it's going to come with its own IP address. Just make sure to add that specifically to your router, to your router security settings, so that way it can obviously allow it to connect to the network. But once it connects to the network, I haven't had any issues at all. It's been through rain, through hard wind, then you're pretty much good to go. So yeah, that's pretty much that guy there from Amcrest. If you guys want this specific one, I'm showing it to you guys here, the IP2M-842B camera. This is going to be the outdoor camera, and it's fully waterproof, and it does have night vision. They do have several versions of them. This one, in terms of how they look, is going to affect the functionality. Okay, thank you.